Hi, this is Farel. Welcome to my video and YouTube channel. This is I'm starting off this session with sort of like I did in the last video where I was pre-gaming for the Cosmic Monkey signing. I did a signing at this local comic shop last week with some other folks, and you can, if you're really curious, you can check out my Patreon. I'm going to post pictures of it and pictures of all the little drawings that I did. Or not all of them, but some of the drawings I did there. But I just kind of wanted to show as like an example. And it was basically for myself, just to warm up. And so I grabbed a few of my books that I had in stock. I wasn't sure how much the store would have, but it turned out they had like pretty much everything I had and then some. So here I just am doing like 3 drawings that one is in It Will All Hurt, and this is in The Often Wrong. And the first one you saw was Delusional, which Often Wrong and Delusional are more like sketchbooks and kind of a mix of some comics, sketches, different things. Whereas It Will All Hurt's one long story, and that's the Alamandra drawing. And that was probably the most fun and easiest for me, just because I've drawn her like hundreds of times. And this guy, I was sort of trying to figure out, like, I guess I'll just do a little animal head and a spacesuit. That's always like a good go-to. And same with this, I was just like, I'll just draw like a astronaut thing because there's an astronaut on the cover. Yeah, so here we're back to page 11, Robot Todd. Last week, the last video, anyways, it might have been a little over a week, but it was, I started pencils of this page, and it was really sketchy. I looked at my thumbnails before I started shooting and looked at the script on my phone and tried to figure out what the dialogue was going to be. And then I started the camera and then just started kind of roughing it in. And so the start of this video is me sort of refining the pencils, and I just kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, I'll just start inking it then too. So I did the lettering first, which is how I usually do it. And then, not always, but usually I'll do the lettering first. It just makes it kind of easier, like once I know where the lettering's going and the word balloons and all that. Oh yeah, this is a reference photo for that second panel. I started to redraw the first panel a lot, just over and over, the Todd flipping and through the air. And it was fun to kind of make that up. But just because I was doing so much erasing, and I knew I wanted this character, Fern Fells, to be in that pose where she's kind of squatting down and looking at her phone. I didn't want to have to redraw that 100 times because I knew I would. And so I just took a quick photo of myself, and I just included in this video just to show you guys. I don't do that often. I should do it more, but I really don't do enough. Sometimes I get like caught up in trying to make the drawing look exactly like the picture, and instead of like just sort of getting just the general feel of the pose. But this time I was like, well, I'm going to film this, so I'm just going to hurry up and lay down something really quick so I can ink it. And it didn't take me that long to get something decent because I had that photo. So yeah, here I'm erasing all the little stray pencil marks, which there wasn't that many on this page because I did the pencils pretty quick and tried to keep it light. In the past, I would really like dig in with my pencil, and it's taken me like a long time, like 20, 30 years to realize like, oh, if I'm watercoloring this, I don't need to, inking and watercoloring, I don't need to dig in that hard with the pencils. I can just keep it kind of light. So I'm trying to kind of retrain myself to draw lighter with the pencils. If it's not going to be like finished pencils, if I'm just doing it as, it's for inking, they don't need to be that strong. Yeah, so got all the pencils erased. Or most of the pencils erased. I'm sure you can still see some through, but I'm leaving the backgrounds uninked. So I left the pencils there, kind of rough, and here I'm just laying down a base of yellow. I usually start with the watercolor. I usually kind of pick something that just seems kind of fun to do. I don't normally just lay down a washes over washes over washes. I normally will find one little spot on the page, and I'm like, oh, that'll be fun to do that. So on this one, because I liked that first panel so much, it's like, oh, I'll just start painting Robot Todd first. But then I was like, I added the yellow and the stripes on his uniform or costume or whatever, his raiment or clothing. And oh yeah, and here you can see that I actually have a hair dryer. So that's another little thing that I've changed about my process. Like for years, I would just stick my hand in the wet paint and then get irritated that I'd pick it up. So I finally decided to buy a little hair dryer, which has made my life way easier, way easier. And I'm really happy I did that because it's just a couple of times during the, when I do these big washes. So yeah, that was the thing. I was like painting Robot Todd the yellow, and I was like, well, I kind of want to do a yellow wash over all the background. So I just sort of switched from painting him to adding that layer, since I had yellow in my paintbrush and in the water already. I was like, oh, I'll just add this kind of yellow and brown and green. It's kind of subtle, but there's a little bit of blue and green and brown in there too. But it's mostly just like a light yellow that I laid down over the backgrounds just to kind of get the whole thing that's, kind of moving rather than just doing one little piece at a time. So, yeah, and then the next thing I kind of started doing the sky, and then it was just a matter of sort of going in and adding different layers. The smoke part was actually, I've done it on the preceding pages. I've done a little bit of smoke here and there, but I felt like this page in particular, that actually took me the longest for some reason. It just kind of wasn't, when I penciled it, I was just like, I'll just do just a basic, like quick little line thing, sort of in a cloud shape. But I didn't really have like a good vision of how I wanted it to look, even though I had previous examples I knew I wanted Robot Todd to sort of be like a dust cloud coming up, and in the third panel and in the fourth panel, yeah, it would sort of be like more of that dust cloud. And I don't know why, but I kept screwing up on it. Like it, like it would look good for a second, and then I kept adding it, and so then I'd switch to like painting her, the Fernfels character, and by the time I got it done, I did it in maybe like 3 hours, colored the whole thing. You can see the little clock there moving, but I feel like it was probably around 3 hours it took me to color this page, and I did it all today, like in one go. Normally I'll do these like as 20-minute sessions, but I think because I missed a bunch of days and I was just kind of sick of looking at sitting there on my desk. It was taunting me. So, but that's the finished page, and this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching this, and check out my Patreon too if you want. It's like $2 a month if you want to like help support making this comic. Really appreciate it. Bye.